fluid head. I'm an addict, bloody addict. I've just picked up these two bikes. One I'm pretty sure is just going to be maybe a donor. The other, the one at the front, I saw something special on it and I could not resist it. So I'll get down and have a look. Now the first one is this, and it is in the worst state of the two. As you can see, the saddle cover is missing. There are spokes broken. The oil bath cover around the crankset is toast. It's rusted away, and generally just rust everywhere on it. Also, the brakes are all seized up and the rear wheel is seized. So it's going to take a lot of work on this one particular bike. The saddle, I don't know if anyone will be able to do anything with this, but to me that is just trash now. Maybe art, but that's going to come off. The seat post doesn't look too bad. The spots of rust on it, but this should have been like an old fabric cover on it. I do have the cover, but obviously all of the mounting points have completely just rusted through. The bikes were both left in behind the shed apparently for a number of years, so yeah, that's why they've had that much trouble with it. Saying that though, after finding this Raleigh TI logo right at the bottom of the seat tube, I suspect this bike might be an 80s, and again looking at the hub on the rear, it's a 1981. So why this bike is in the worst condition of the two when there's such a big time difference between them, I have no idea. But the build quality obviously in the 80s was not as good as, well, I believe the other bike is a 40s. You might just be able to see here the logo of Superb. So yeah, this is a Raleigh Superb model. Superb was definitely one of the earlier models. I've got a 40s Superb already, a ladies one. The other bike in this pack is a Superb, and that's again I think from the 40s. So the Superb is one of the ones that have stuck through the time. Unfortunately this one is a later one and is not as good quality. Let's up the brightness a little bit and we'll go down, hopefully. But the chain rusted inside, not too bad though. Crankset is just it's a smooth edged one. It's not actually too bad in there, but you can see the oil bath cover is completely rusted away, so that is no good at all. But the crankset isn't too bad. It's not too bad on there. This one of the two, unfortunately, is a real mess. You can see, well, you can't see because it hasn't focused, but you can now. The rims, they are pretty much shot. They're spotted with rust, but I don't think that will clean up, especially not the rear rim. It's too badly damaged on the sidewalls. So I'll be able to save the hubs, and you can see two spokes have rusted through and snapped off there. So that's no good. The mudguards, both front and rear, have got a lot of rust on them. You can see it's all bubbled up there. I can just flex it and break it away. So the mudguards are toast as well, which is a shame, but I am actually tempted though with this bike to steal the rod brakes off it, because the 40s, the like 30s, whichever, the black Raleigh that I've got stashed away, it needs rod brakes on it, and I might be able to use these, hopefully. We'll see. They are seized, completely seized at the moment, so I can't pull any levers whatsoever. It's going to be a fight to take this bike apart. But the cool thing is it does have a rear dyno hub in there. It is just a 3-speed, so that might be a serviceable item that can live on in another bike, as well as the front hub, because they're not too bad. The rust should clean up them, but again, they are seized. I can't spin the wheel at all, which might be due to the brakes, to be honest, but I also can't rotate the chain, the pedals or anything. So I think a lot of this bike is seized up and it will need lots of work. Why did I buy this? Now this one's the main reason I bought this sort of lot. It caught my eye for a number of reasons. One, the Brook saddle. It's definitely not going to be usable, but it's still a cool piece. Two, it's got North Road bars on it, which are always nice to have. You can flip them upside down for more of a roadster type feel. Three, it's got a cool little rear light and pannier, and they definitely aged the bike, so I knew it was going to be an old one. And the main reason, number 4, are the rims. The rims are spotless, so I knew that could only mean, well, it could mean one of two things. It could mean it'd have Raleigh stainless rims, or it could have some Dunlop alloy rims, unless of course they've been replaced. But looking at the rest of the bike, it hadn't had that much attention to it, so I went out on a limb, and this is pretty much why I bought it, just for the rims. And right there, my hunch was right. On the rim, well, I covered it up. On the rim, I don't know if you can see it, I can barely see it. It says 26 by 1 3/8 Raleigh stainless. These rims are lovely rims to have, gorgeous, because obviously the rust doesn't really affect them. They weren't chrome plated, they're stainless steel, and they have lasted for all these years. I'm figuring this bike is a 40s just by looking at the details. I can't quite pinpoint it at the moment because everything is seized, so I can't spin the wheels and have a look at the updating and that, but everything else tells me this is 40s, and with the condition that these rims are in, it's amazing. They're worth the money I paid for this bike and more, just in that. Oh, this is really harsh light to shoot in. The chain case is obviously missing its cover. I do have one in the garage, so I could always put that on. You can kind of, if I turn you, just about see, just there, the Raleigh logo. Underneath, very faintly, it says the all steel bicycle, and again, that's another thing that points to an early bike. And if I lift you up, where is it? It's back a bit. There we go. At the back of the chain case here, we've even got the oiler port, which is still on there. So with these, you could keep the chain protected from the elements. Obviously, this one with the missing cover has had the elements and is completely rusted and seized, so that chain is no good at all. I'm going to have to cut it off probably. But it's cool to have the chain case mostly complete, because the oiler ports are kind of hard to find, and the rear quarter, which you can't see in this picture, is also kind of hard to find. The seat tube still has the Superb transfers on it. I don't think it would be more of a decals on this. It still has those on, and if I go up a bit further, oh, I don't know if you can see that, it still has some very faint remnants, there you go, of the striping. So this bike would have been a rich green, and it would have had gold boxing on there, around the frame, in those places, on the top tube and on the down tube. The down tube still has some of that boxing as well, and it still has the very faint outline of the Raleigh, the all steel bicycle logo, which I'm pretty sure H. Lloyd Cycles will stock. So this is a potential for a complete restoration. We'll see how it goes. I've got to do some research into it, and I've got to get it stripped down to start with. The brake levers, again, they're seized, but at least they have calipers on this one. Calipers are easy to replace. I do have replacements at home, so if I can get them undone. Oh no, they're completely seized. If we can get them undone, I'll replace them. If not, I'll have to try and soak them in some stuff and deal with them that way. One other awesome little find on this bike is the shifter, and actually the rear hub. The shifter, I'm hoping you can see and the light isn't too harsh, says SA for Sturmiaccia, 4-speed. It's a 4-speed hub. I've only ever dealt with 3-speed. I do have another 4-speed in the garage ready to be done, but 4-speed. The good thing about this as well, it's also a dyno hub, so it's two rarish things combined into one to make it even rarer. So I look forward to trying to get this working. It moves, so the lever moves, but obviously the hub probably isn't in that good a condition. The Brooks saddle, now it is a massive shame this has been left out in the weather. The chrome is rusted through now, and don't think that will clean up, but the saddle is just too far gone to ride. If you tried to ride this, it would just fall apart. The rivets, the leather would just break around all these rivets. So unfortunately that is too far gone to save. But we'll stick another one on there. If we do a full restoration on this, we'll stick another Brooks on there. Don't know if it'll be sprung. I'll see what I can find at the time. But it still has some nice colours on it now, though. I'm going to take a picture of that for Instagram. And just hiding in there, I'm hoping the exposure is good because I can't see properly, is the Sturmiaccia 4-speed hub. I can't see the code on it at the moment. I've uncovered the patent numbers. It has all the older stuff had patent numbers plastered all over it. I can't see the code of the hub at the moment, and I can't see the date because it's seized, because the calipers are seized on so tight and that. So once I get it stripped down, I'll be able to properly date it using the hub at least. I haven't actually seen any frame numbers on the bike yet, so I'll have a look for those. But that looks to be in very good condition as well, so I'll be interested to strip that down and get it working again, hopefully. 4-speed. I'm hoping it's not one of the fragile ones, because I know some of the Sturmiaccias were very, very fragile. And that is the end of this video, I guess. So I found two Raleigh Superbs today. One's an 81, one I believe is a 40s. Both are all seized up, but the 40s one has a lot better equipment on it. So I'm going to work on the 40s. The 80s, if you're local and you want it, then message me and we'll try and sort something out. I've not got much interest in doing that one up, but this 40s definitely is something I want to look at. So I hope you've just enjoyed this little look round. There is a lot more to come. Sorry about the lack of uploads recently, but I'll get cracking, get some work done and get some more uploads coming. So I'll catch you in the next video.